It is that time again. Good morning to my fellow Panicans. T. Skillett and James over there in Ohio, Haitian Invasion, Ohio.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
You,
Man, it's
you,
early. 5 o'clock.
It is a good morning. I wouldn't want to be in the Middle East. I was listening to them though. They said they're trying to put a republic together right now over there in Iran. I was like, wow,
Wow.
maybe I'll move to Iran.
you
Who
said
knows?
bingo before you started. That made me think of that song. Bingo and
Hey, that's a
bingo
good
was
song.
his name.
I love that song. Hey, I slept good last night. Actually, I tried this new tea. I said, okay, I drink beer like every night. Okay, everybody knows that. And much to my wife's chagrin. But I said, after going through the Ten Commandments again, I was like, because me and my daughters would read the Bible every night, and I said, Sunday, no more beer. We're not going to do beer on the whole. We're going to keep it holy. So I started drinking a lot of tea yesterday, and I was testing out new teas, and I also got this one for bedtime because I was like, well, how am I going to sleep tonight after not having any beer tonight? And how pathetic does that sound? Uh,
Pretty
and so I had
pathetic.
this really pathetic. Uh, sound like an alcoholic. I do have a job.
No,
Chamomile
it's like a sound like
with melatonin. And so I was like, I slept like a baby. You
Yeah,
know,
I take a little
melatonin.
melatonin pill on
Yeah.
to sleep.
And so now I got some of my dorky. This is just green tea with collagen, and then I got my coffee over here. Skillet, you got coffee again?
No, I drink
What?
water and then I'll have coffee after the show.
Oh wow! They
Yeah, I
say
don't
that
drink
is
enough.
better for you to drink 45 minutes when you wake up. Water.
Yeah, you always have to have. You got to get the systems going,
Wow.
your organs, your internal organs
Well,
going.
technically, I haven't had any coffee yet. It just had tea, so
Yeah,
I
you're
feel
going to turn
awfully
into a
good.
green tea
water,
freak.
water, not
Water.
water,
Water.
distilled
Wow.
water.
I'm so surprised the CAG is in here. I'm just shocked.
Well, you know,
His wife's gonna now that he spent money on it though. His wife's gonna be like, "Oh, dude, you bought a microphone, a laptop, and all this stuff, and you're not getting up now. You're dead."
well, you got to just ease into
You're
it.
dead to me. You're dead.
Yeah.
Man, I always talk shit to a guy who has New York stickers in his car, or like this guy at Walmart yesterday. Sidebar, we'll get into the
I
some
had to go to
positiveness.
Walmart too yesterday on a Sunday. Is
Yeah,
that insane or what?
I had to get some oranges and some milk, just some stuff that we ran out of.
All right.
And this guy, when I'm leaving, I was like, "Nice caddy." Besides all the New York flavor inside of it, he was like actually upset about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm from New York. I'm
Uh,
like, wow, this is
you
the first
just
time.
moved to Virginia.
Yeah, first time anyone's not laughed at it. No, I really want to laugh at you. He had a military thing on. I was like, "Oh, thank you for your service, anyways." You're
I always
welcome.
say when I see New York plates in Florida, I always go, "You from New York?" They go, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Good. You know how to go home. Excellent."
GPS still work, huh?
Yeah, don't stay long enough to switch your plates out. That's all I'm saying.
That's pretty. When you move to Florida, like we're about to, you gotta change your plates from New York. That's bad.
You do.
Hey,
If you know you're gonna live there, change your plates out.
Yeah,
I
I
went
mean
to
Virginia one's got to go.
college in North Carolina, and the guy who ran the building looked at me, and I had a little I had this little sports car, and I had a Florida tag, and he goes, "Yeah, you might want to think about borrowing somebody's tag, the North Carolina tag, putting on that car. It's like they
It
don't
doesn't
like
matter where you're
people."
from. Oh yeah, I'm from North Idaho, dude. We see
Yeah,
California plates. Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. When I
yeah.
lived in Philadelphia, you see New Jersey plates. I'm with my Philadelphia friends. Oh, it's New Jersey. No wonder you drive like a moron. Like, it's like it doesn't matter if as long as you're touching the state, especially
So
they hate them.
Yeah,
so
no
it's
wonder. No
Monday,
wonder anybody can understand how you talk.
right? Yeah. Well,
It
it's
is Monday.
Monday. It's already March 2nd. This year is like
Flying by.
it's got afterburners on and just flying past us, right? So today we had an interesting weekend. Let's just say that it was a very interesting weekend. So we'll get
Oh,
into that, but for now, it's National Banana banana pie day. It's
banana cream pie. I was gonna give Kag some banana cream if he came on.
yeah,
with us,
See,
but-
I like
banana
it.
cream pie.
I like
And
banana cream. and
it's also
coconut.
National Old Stuff Day, so I don't know like what that even really means, but
Old
That,
stuff.
that means everything in my house.
Do we got to go bang some senior? I don't know. I
We
don't
got
want
oh,
to
bang
we're
bang
going
a
back to last
senior.
week. Some Seymour, some
Yeah.
senior Seymour.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
we'll go get
I'm still salty about the Clinton thing. I know you guys think she's hot. I sent you that
No,
group picture.
no.
I sent you that picture. It's all good.
AI made her look
What-
halfway okay, but that was AI.
That
we
was
got,
AI.
we got Larry in the house. Larry's in the chat room.
I can't wait to
Morning,
see
Larry.
the replay
Springfield.
of the shouting match that she has, because I think that was her MO all along. I think the people in the State Department they would probably dive under their desk when she would walk through.
Oh yeah, they
You
were.
remember last time she shouted at him, you know, what's it matter now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember
What
we
difference?
talked about
What
what
difference,
what difference
does
does
it
it
make?
make?
Yeah.
Yeah. What
I
difference
watched
does
that
it make
live.
now?
I'm sure you guys did too. I remember watching
Yeah.
that live in my apartment in New York. Like,
Eh.
just what the hell's going on? With
And
this?
and that's when she was reserved. When you're unreserved, that's when you're talking to staff, campaign staffs and things like that. Your husband, just think how many barrages Bill took
What
in
was I
his
gonna say?
lifetime.
I can see her looking over at these Congress people and going like this.
Well, you saw her and Bill, like their go-to play over during that stuff was basically we're heavy on the law. We will bring the hammer down. The justice should be served. I would never hang out with a guy like that. I want a speedy trial to these crooks, pedophiles, whatever. I mean, no one buys this crap, dude. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, seriously, do you
Well,
really?
that's
think people believe
that's
it?
called projecting. So
Yeah.
they always project what they're doing toward you.
Yeah,
The
let's
Democrats
be
are the
honest.
best at it.
Epstein probably left a little bit of DNA in her at one time.
Oh, we're gonna get into that actually. A little bit of Epstein this morning that popped. Do you see that? They sent you the rundown. That's crazy.
I'm going to be talking a whole lot more about the new stuff that came out. Man, there's some gross stuff in there, guys.
Yeah, she's not. She's a pegger in a Taco Beller. She don't. You guys are all climbing up the wrong tree there. She doesn't go on the cruise with all the dudes. She goes on the cruise with all the gals. I mean,
Yeah, well, I knew she bats for the other team. She's
Yeah.
a carpet muncher.
Yeah, she's on the.
But I'm talking about like the Epstein stuff. If you go, because there's a lot of documents, right? So I just was told how to do the search words. You know what I mean? Like a Control F or whatever.
Yep.
And like if you type in 4-year-old, then type in 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, and 8-year-old, and a lot of stuff's gonna pop up that will just. You get some of it, you got to fill in the blanks because part of it's redacted, but it's usually something that's super foul.
Yeah.
That but if you count the little blocks, you pretty much can fill in. It's kind of like doing one of those crossword puzzles.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to touch down on this today, but when I came in the studio this morning, we talked about Shia LaBeouf getting arrested last week in Mardi Gras.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he got arrested again.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's
Again.
What's he doing?
Perhaps you noticed
they're going to make an example out of this guy.
In the show, we caught up with LaBeouf dancing on Bourbon Street
with his release
night,
papers.
Having a great time.
Yeah.
And he wasn't empty-handed. You see those papers there appear to
Yeah,
be
he's.
some of the
Oh, he got some more
documents
absinthe.
following
Somebody
his
gave him
arrest.
some more
One of them
absinthe.
says ROR.
Oh yeah, he went back to that bar. Hey, this is what happens when you give $1.5 million to an actor.
Yeah, for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really sad seeing this right now with Shia LaBeouf because he. I remember he did that movie Padre Pio, and he actually he became Catholic, converted to Catholicism. He was like very serious.
Who let Norman out of the tank? I mean, come on, Norman, just stay in the tank, buddy.
He's like the modern day. What's the guy that plays? Iron Man.
Yeah. I know who you're
Iron
talking
Man.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, who plays Iron Man? Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man's Iron Man.
Iron Man. I'm sure when Dowdy goes through an airport, everybody goes Iron Man.
Yeah, that's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he had all these problems too.
I am Batman.
And
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like he had some serious issues.
Well, today is banana cream day pie, banana cream pie day, right? So you want to say, well, where the hell did that come from? Well, it came out of Boston. All these cream pies,
That makes sense.
chocolate
Come
cream
from
pies.
Boston.
Yeah, it came out of this Parker House Hotel. So if you ever hear about Parker House Hotel, Boston was a pretty happening town. I mean, it had international trade. It was the New York. I mean, you had New York, but you didn't have New York. So I'm sure New York was developed because people left Boston, shipping magnates,
Well, Boston had better
corporations.
docks.
Yeah, and then you came down to New York.
I love
But
Boston.
Boston was always trade. That was like, for some reason those they like those frozen, cold, wintry harbors. It's not like Miami. Forget Miami, but it was
It's like,
like
well,
that.
like they hadn't found it, right?
Yeah,
Where's the nicer place?
forget
here?
the naked native women or anything like that on the beach. Got to go to that frozen Massachusetts, Boston, frozen. You got to wear 18 layers of clothes. I guess that was hot.
The Eskimo women.
Oh, I saw Martha's ankles. Oh my God.
Oh, I was
holy-
watching. I'm
You
speaking
dirty
of cold.
girl.
I was watching Mike DeGruy, his life, and the diver and Mike DeGruy from National Geographic and stuff, and it showed him diving in Antarctica, and so they film it up top and they break the ice, and they go inside the ice, and
Who
then
would want to do that?
the cameras are all set up, dude. It's like the most crystal clear water with glaciers. He's like going under the glaciers, and seals
Yeah.
are just swimming like this, like.
Yeah. Too bad he didn't meet a polar bear.
I thought, what kind of pussy am I? What am I doing with my life? This guy has dove in every single corner of the globe. In whether it's Alaska, he's like on it. He's got his fins on, and he's laying on the little iceberg. Just a tiny piece
Only
of ice.
you know what
And
kind of pussy you
he's-
are.
And he's kicking his feet. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
I like to dive. I like to dive in tropical warm water. That's what I like to dive.
Man, you guys.
Well,
got a
I
lot
like
of
to
cool-
sit on a lawn chair on the beach under an umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
That's
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's my
Little
go-to
Corona?
thing. Yeah, little bit
What's
of
up?
Corona or some
So-
Michelob Ultra.
So they had so the first thing that was invented was chocolate cream pie from this guy. But then
Mm.
United Fruit Company moves into Boston, 1899. They start importing bananas into the United States, and I mean they imported a lot of bananas. At the end of the United Fruit Company, when it was all said and done, they owned 3.5 million acres of farmlands growing bananas in Colombia and Panama. Right? I mean, they built their own farms. They put in their own schools. They had Americans working in these farms. They even had a revolt in 1928. They called it the Banana Worker Massacre that
What?
happened in Colombia.
You know,
And
bananas
so,
are some serious business now.
Oh,
I had a banana
bananas!
this morning already.
Bananas
too.
is a serious business. So I asked my
Oh,
friend
finally.
who's an insurance attorney. Her name's Donna Davis. I said, "Hey Donna, what was your biggest case?" And she said, a mold case from United Fruit Company with bananas, with Chiquita bananas. That was their biggest case. I mean,
I bet
it
you saw
is
some
serious.
dirty inner workings being in the insurance industry. Probably
Serious.
stuff you're not even allowed to talk about, right?
Yeah, but
Insurance is like, I mean, not like someone's personal case, but there's got to be shit in insurance. You're just like, yeah, you're not ever saying anything about this. We're
No,
gonna
I
settle
mean,
it,
you
and
know.
it's over.
No, I mean, listen, I liked insurance. Believe me, the reason I got insurance is a service industry. You're dealing with people, and I'm a people person, so, these new people, they don't like to talk to people. They like to text each other. Me, I like to talk to people. So, I had a 50%, when I would go to mediations in South Florida, I had a 50% closure rate. I would settle claims 50%, which was unheard of. So, I mean,
That's
you
how
just talk to
Skillet-
people.
That's how Skillet
You know,
became
I
a
like
millionaire.
talking to people,
People-
Skillet,
people
but
to
people
people.
don't like talking to me. I don't get it.
It's just this new regime of they like to text each other, whatever.
The new regime of texting.
Yeah.
Did you guys see this? I was actually interested in this when this popped. It was positivenews.com. British company taking many steps to produce power.
Yeah, they have all different kind of ideas to produce power.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, the environment's, we're killing it with fossil fuels and all that stuff. But I am someone who likes a lower electricity bill. So I always think about what could I do. So I was thinking, so they're creating power with these these walkways around Europe. They've done it in London already, right?
Well, they walk a lot in Europe. Okay, so
Right.
Europe walks more than Americans. Okay, they get out of their cars and truck. Okay,
Right.
they don't. Not everybody has a car in
That's
England.
because gas is $7-8 a gallon.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, why don't you just put this like in like flooring companies need to pop this in people's houses? So now you're producing electricity walking around your house?
That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
idea.
you can put on clothes and plug in your phone to your clothes, and the action of your clothes creates energy and warmth that recharges your iPad, your
Yeah.
Walkman, whatever that you got that you're listening to. Your motion can charge up the batteries.
That's crazy.
Now, what was funny about this inventor in England was he invented most of his inventions in the bedroom. So, what other contraptions was he
Right.
inventing that created energy in his
Yeah.
bedroom? I thought that was kind of weird. Poor wife.
Oh man.
Is
Yeah,
it
she's the
really weird
experiment.
though, or a lot of things happen through sexual gratification, and they just come up with other ideas that go beyond that.
Well,
But
so they came up with windmills, right? Well, what has to turn the windmill? Wind, right? So
Right.
why not have a bunch of mini fans on the guardrails of highways that the wind from the cars blow continuously, right? To turn the little windmills on guardrails that run the lights on the highway.
pull the draft from the cars going down the
Yeah.
highway. That's right.
Then the actual lane itself, the blacktop, why not put the weight and the rolling movement of the car that creates energy from that that runs the red light or the cameras that ticket you at speeding at $150 when you're going 51 miles an hour, right? There's probably a lot of opportunities to get energy from kinetic.
I think it's already. It says one step can spin the flywheel up to 10 seconds, which is good for batteries because it gives a continuous power.
Mhm.
Multiply that by thousands of footsteps, the output becomes something significant.
Right.
After trial of 2012 Olympics, fitted the power of the lighting. Now has
Yeah.
250 sites in 5 countries. It says
Yeah,
right here in
and I
DC,
still don't
the
understand
White House.
how electric cars don't have tabs that come off the back bumper that rub against the road and creates energy for the car. I mean, just like slot
cars, right?
Yeah, slot cars. I mean, I
Friction.
never could understand that. I'm like, why do you got to stop for energy? All you need is a tab and a.
You know what I always like, Skillet? You ever seen them where they hook these alternators up to these stationary bicycles, and then
Oh, yeah.
they power these 12-volt TVs
Yeah,
that
it's
play
called
in your
being
vans
on
and
an
stuff.
island, right? Alternators, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I think a lot of people, if you gave that to a kid and say, "You want to watch TV? Start pedaling.
Start pedaling. You
My
want to
boss,
play?
Forced
I used to-
exercise.
You want to play your video games?
Start
Hit
pedaling."
the track, right?
Well, I gotta call my old boss Carson because he said that he's like, you want to make a generator? I can teach you how to make a generator. It involves an alternator. I think it's an alternator and I guess it's an alternator and a battery.
Oh, you get
Yeah,
stuck
that's all
on
you
a.
do.
He said
need.
he can just make a
You're on a
generator.
deserted island. You're praying for a box of alternators to drop on you.
He said and a motor from a dryer. He said, get the motor out of the back of the dryer, get the alternator. You can spin that.
Yeah.
And once it
And
starts
you're
spinning,
off
it doesn't
grid.
Once you
stop spinning.
spin it, it'll keep going on its own.
And
Right.
yeah, exactly. Until the alternator dies. It's genius.
Mhm.
Yep, that is true. That once you get it rotating, it'll continue on by itself.
Yeah, I mean,
James dude, James, for your Empty Pockets Garage on YouTube, you need to do one of those wood stove trucks. Have you seen those?
No.
You know, because you're a motor guy.
you
I'm
mean a
kind of
steam powered
No,
car?
so these guys will take a wood stove, put it in the back of a little truck, and they'll run the exhaust from the wood stove, the damper. They'll dump it right into the carb, and then it just powers It just powers the truck. That what you're not burning on the stove burns in the motor of the truck, and it just keeps going with a
And
fire in the back of your
that's
truck.
Beverly Hillbilly stuff there, man. Jethro
Who's
is
Yeah.
asked to
training.
do that, dude? We got to get you a truck. Will you do it?
Yeah, I'd do anything once.
He can be
Ba-dum,
driving
boom.
around Springfield, freaking wood stove in the back of his truck.
I'm gonna get a bunch of my Haitian girls, and I'm gonna get a bunch of them stationary bicycles, and I can get old alternators and switch them over because they got internal regulators. And even ones with external regulators, you can rewire them to make them one wire alternators, where all you gotta do is just one wire to the battery and one ground, and you're ready to roll.
Yeah, dude, James is gonna have a bunch of old dryers in his yard and wood stoves, pipes, and just it's gonna be
Big
gonna
old-
get another ticket.
Big old
Put it on the concrete.
chunky titty Haitian girls on them stationary bikes, and they're blacking themselves in the
I'm
eye.
getting-
Oh,
let me get the dartboard out. Here we go. There's
Yeah,
one. I got
dude,
some
we
more.
gotta see the dartboard.
There's two.
What'd I say?
Chunky titties.
That's not foul language.
That's where I come from. Yeah. Like,
No,
God.
then
In
you've
the
never
normal
listened to George
country
Carlin's
club
7 words.
scene, that's
Let's see if this
foul
finally
language.
popped. So when I came into the studio this morning, all it said on top of the hour news, and we got a lot to get into with Iran and stuff, of course, but where that's headed, it said I thought it said multiple jets shot down in Kuwait.
Well, if they were F-15s, those were cool Kuwaiti jets. So I mean, F-15s. That American forces don't fly F-15s anymore.
Well, we had four servicemen killed yesterday,
yeah.
and then what they say, like
8
dozens.
injured.
Yeah, a lot of them got shrapnel, and then
Mhm.
a couple of them are seriously injured.
Yeah. No,
US
so
officials
let's
said
put a
that
pin.
it was a US F-15 fighter jet shot down in Kuwait as a result of friendly fire. What?
Yeah.
And again, this is breaking as we speak this morning, so the story could change. You know how that goes. But here's the footage of the jet going down. One of them.
I'm sure they ejected.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. That's a missile.
He's upside down.
Mm.
I wonder if we can see him eject or he already ejected. I hope so, because he'd be shooting himself downward now. Oh, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
2 of them.
You know that happened.
What's the small one?
I live
Wow.
in Springfield, right? And I used to work in Newber Heights, and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is between Springfield and Newber Heights in a town called Fairborn. So one day, and they do a lot of flights there, obviously for the military. So and I don't know if it was an F-15 or not, had just taken off, and I was on my way to work going down I-70 going west, and on 675, which is a road that goes south and it merges into I-75. But anyways, I looked over and I seen a whole line of just the big balls of flames shooting from the tree line over on the other side of this cornfield. And then my brother just happened to be driving a dump truck, and he was on 675, and the guy landed. He'd already stopped because they all heard it boom, 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 because the engine popped on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And was watching the flames, right? So he's sitting there watching that. The next thing he knows, here's the pilot landing right on the edge of 675, right in front of his dump truck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a trip. That was years ago. And I remember getting off work at night because it was second shift. And when I got off work, then that entire cornfield I was telling you about that wasn't, there'd already been crops had already been removed from it, was completely filled full of like a city of tents. It was unreal. That fast, they had like a massive city of tents all popped up there.
Government coming to investigate. Well, Trump vows to avenge the deaths of the 4 fallen soldiers. It looks like here's footage on that.
Well, he done killed like 40 of their top guys.
Past
Who's he going to
36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military
It's looking a little thinner.
offensives the world has ever seen.
Ozempic
Nobody's
is
seen
working
anything
for
like
him.
it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities.
No one's ever
Iranian
seen
air
anything like
defense
anything.
systems. Just
with
now,
Trump.
it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there.
So the president of peace, I can't.
Well, this is a talking point. This is a talking point.
Right, but I just can't get over the Board of Peace talks, right? Like, we're going to meet at the Board of Peace. And then, I mean, you gotta put yourself in shoes of these other leaders that are watching him. And he started a Board of Peace. And
but
he's just taking out leaders all over the world.
Well, so you're going to have these Democrat talking points. It was all on Sunday morning shows,
Right.
all of them, and they were all
Yeah, it's an easy hit.
Hollywood screenwriters have already sent out the script to everybody's Democratic cell phone, and the script is this. Well, President Trump. Well, when did they ever call him President Trump? Well, Trump promised
Donald.
peace. He does not want war. He was elected because he didn't ever want a war. Right. And look now what he's doing. And he also promised lower prices, but there's no lower prices on anything. So we already know, one, they're doing everything they can to undermine our economy from coming back. They're doing everything they can to create more prices. Right. Okay, higher prices on everything. When you go to the store and they got a stamp, they have to put a sticker on an apple. Every single apple, that costs a lot of money to do that. Yeah. And not hurt the fruit. So it's like, you get rid of this stupid ass. Oh, there it is. I said it.
All right, there you go. Boom.
Did you get a bullseye?
But
see, we got to have a second camera for Skillet right on the bottom of his screen of the dartboard.
See if you get the bullseye.
He could have hit a freaking cup next to it and it stuck to it.
But you know, Skillet, he didn't break any promises because he doesn't want any new wars. But he also says peace through strength, and he told him, and we were talking about it many times in the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Gave him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to negotiate. Let's negotiate a deal. Let's work this out. You ain't going to we're not going to allow you to have it. That's just the way it is.
Nuclear bombs.
Yep. You're not going to be able to have it. And so what happens, there comes a point in time to when, okay, peace through strength. Well, now it's time to show you what our strength is.
Well,
and we're calling this a war. What this was to President Trump is a weekend excursion.
Exactly. That Thursday night, they got wind. Thursday night, they probably got wind about, negotiations aren't going good. They'll give it one last shot. Hey, Friday, let's give it one last shot. Then he got the news that they're not taking in what we're putting out. Okay, they're not accepting anything. And then they found out about a meeting that was going to be held at the at the Supreme Being's compound, and 40 of the top leaders of Iran and military leaders were going to meet with the Khamenei at the compound on Saturday morning. And so he lit it up.
Yeah, I can see Trump. I can see Trump when he found out about that. Oh, this is too good. This is too good. Got to do it. Let's do it over dessert.
I got to play. I would be remiss if I didn't play what Clickbait Carl sent us. Let's see here.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
Once Saddam has nuclear weapons, the terror network will have nuclear weapons. Next thing you'll see is a nuclear bomb in the World Trade Center. If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region.
That's a pretty
pretty
that
bold.
age well.
That's the Israeli government goading us into doing their work for them.
Yeah.
That's what, you know what I mean?
It's going to be over.
And you're going to have a faction of that, but it just like that young lady said on Saturday night, on our Saturday night free for all, it's all about the Straits of Hormuz. It's all about protecting 30 miles of a strait where thousands of oil tankers flow. Okay.
Yeah.
That is the pipeline. They had thousands of oil tankers all bottled up this weekend.
And all the countries use that.
All the
Strait
countries.
of Hormuz, yeah.
And that's and so it's just like what was it, the 300 army of 300 Greeks that protected Greece from the invasion of
they're the bottleneck of I forget the mountain. They would like bottlenecked in between two big rocks.
Right.
And they took on thousands of the
they were able to delay thousands of the invasion of Greece. So
all these Persians.
Yeah, of the Persians. So that's the Straits of Hormuz. You know, they can see the bottleneck. You know.
Yeah, and the price of oil would skyrocket, or gas actually.
Yeah.
Not oil itself, but gas itself.
So you got famous people. So you got Rosie O'Donnell now, whose daughter was arrested for touching somebody's genitals, right? And she's living in.
Oh my!
Yeah, she lives in
FC
Ireland.
files?
So she's had to come back to the United States. And what does she do? Instead of saying, "Well, it's so safe in the United States, I come back from Ireland," she's right into it, right into the talking points, right into being Rosie O'Donnell. You know, just can't give it up. So. That's all we're going to hear this week. This week we're going to hear
Carl. Carl on the other side just has to live for the.
So we're going to hear impeach Trump, take away his war powers, you know, and all he's doing is, hey, there's an opportunity to take out 40 Iranian crazy commanders and the Ayatollah. I can't pass this.
So you got 40,000.
It's going to be great. It's going to be the best, most spectacular operation.
Never seen anything like it. Tomorrow, never seen it. You've never seen anything like anything.
No. Now, poor Mrs. Mendelbaum, though. Poor Mr. and Miss Mendelbaum that just spent $9 billion on a home in Palm Beach. You know, I'm sure they're pretty upset now, going, "Oh, great, we just moved to the most dangerous region in the world right now, Palm Beach."
Yeah. Listen, you know, eventually someone's gonna bite back, you know, and it's like rest in peace to the service members. But this is what happens when you are, when you have an army and you need to defend yourself and police the world. You have to expect you're going to get some casualties. There's no way around. It's like my dad used to tell me when I was a kid. If someone says they won all their fights, well, if you won all your fights, you're picking your fights, and you don't pick your fights. And Trump's really good at just picking his fights all wherever he wants to go. You know, we'll see what happens. But rest in peace to the fallen service members, and you got to expect that. You have to expect that. You know, you can't have an army policing the world and have no casualties ever.
Yeah, plus I guess these are not just your regular, like, see, I always think of like Iraq, the Scud missiles and all that, but Iran is using ballistic missiles, which is hard to stop in its path. unless you absolutely know it's coming, and they did not know those were coming.
Right.
So because Iran caught them all off guard, shooting at every willy-nilly country that has anything to do with the United States.
Shooting them everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, over here, you're going to get a bomb. You're going to get a bomb. Hey, you're going to get a bomb.
You're gonna bomb. Well, this also goes back to, they're gonna the top brass. I mean, there's 40,000 members, right? Supposedly, in this 44,000 members inside this cabal they have. And so, they're gonna surrender and they're gonna play nice. Like, don't you have to take out all 40,000 members? Like, don't you? So go back to Nazi and the Nuremberg trials and all that. Are you gonna just leave them there and then they start flourishing again somehow?
Well, Iran. I mean, Iran. Okay, so Saudi Arabia. So a long time ago, the king of Saudi Arabia, when they discovered oil in Saudi Arabia, he had a dream, and he said Muhammad talked to him in his dream, and he said that only this family can have the oil, but that family has to take care of everybody in Saudi Arabia, meaning that they all get a part of the oil proceeds in Saudi Arabia. So it's a from the top down. He starts dropping down the gold to everybody in Saudi Arabia. Everybody gets a piece of it. In Iran, they're the second largest oil production in the world. So they have a tremendous amount of wealth. But it's scattered to the world. It's their radical, ideals. And they take that money and they scatter it to the Middle East, disrupting everything. Like having an organized society. Iran is a real disruptor because they take that oil money that they're selling to Russia and they're selling to China and they're selling to India, and they just scatter it to every revolutionary group known to man.
Yeah.
And it's at a certain point, I mean, hey, it was all about timing. I don't care how many promises Trump made in his campaign. This was all about timing. And timing is timing. You don't get these opportunities all the time, Right?
In his first term, guys, he was talking about this in his first term.
Right.
So this is not like breaking a promise. Yeah, it's like he said in the first term, we cannot allow them to have an opportunity to get a nuclear weapon because they had the ballistic missiles. So imagine if they had a nuclear warhead on those.
Right.
You know what I mean? They could have done a lot of damage around the world real quick.
Yeah.
It's like, will we ever know? Like, if they were close or they weren't close? Like, we'll just never know, right? I mean, look at Bibi. He's been saying this since 1995. We're almost there. I mean, 1995, that was 30 years ago.
Well, it took us 50 years to finally them admit that Cuba never had nuclear weapons in Cuba during the whole missile crisis. They had the missiles. Iraq. They had the missiles. The Russians would not give Castro any nuclear warheads because they knew he was crazy enough to shoot them at the United States. Yeah. I mean, they knew he was crazy enough to do it. So they said, we've got all this for you, but they never had it. I mean, they never had any nuclear weapons pointed at the United States.
The side note with Iran, though, is they didn't really need to develop the ability to create their own nuclear materials to create one of those, because these other crazy countries already offered to give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not whether they had within 2 to 5 years of developing their own. They could have been 2 to 5 weeks from having it delivered to their front door and then attaching it to one of their own ballistic missiles. So that's I think that's what Trump knew about.
I think that they're crazy enough and they hate us enough. If they had the capability at the time, at any time in the last 30 years, they would have fired one off.
Oh, yeah. They
don't care. They think they're going to freaking 70 virgins. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's loving those 70 virgins right now, by the way. Ayatollah.
And
Iranican.
And it's also exposing the danger in the United States right now, how we have a mayor of New York who is an Iranian supporter. So Mondami already is condemning all of this to Iran because basically he supports the Ayatollah. There you go.
And you have 2 Congress people that are doing the same thing, Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib.
Mm-hmm.
They are both saying that, Trump overstepped his, and even Hakeem Jeffries, I mean? It's talking about, and they needed to use the War Powers Act and they didn't do it, and Trump's breaking the law. And all kinds of stuff.
In fact, I
made that shirt a long time. I made that shirt a long time ago.
Make Iran great again. New York City marches. So they had full protests underway, making Iran great again in New York City.
Yeah, let's pop that up, actually. And it's funny because first Mandami's response to the backlash he got from rooting out the Ayatollah, right? And then in his own city, they're praising it. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys.
Oh, the Iranians all over here in Iran, everywhere, they're like pro-Trump like crazy right now.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. Mandami is not really reading the room very well, is he?
Mm-mm. Not at all. And then this last one that you put up for us, Mr. Producer, is Epstein. Is Epstein really dead? Yes, Epstein's really dead. I believe that. Epstein is really dead. I would have killed him. If I had to go to a seminar and listen to that guy's voice for 10 minutes, he'd have been in trouble.
Let me see this protest real quick.
Great again.
You know this is organic because there's no way our government's going to be a part of making this protest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they can't stand this. They can't stand this.
Mandami is pissed. I can't believe you guys have put this in my city.
Yeah.
We love you.
Oh,
we love you. President Trump, we love you.
Oh man! Speaking of Epstein, they're going to get themselves.
You know that
talk
thing
like that in New York.
around there said that these people had names too. What about the 35,000 of their Iranian citizens that they killed in the last couple months?
Oh, yeah.
For the uprising they were trying to do.
You know, a few crates of 9mm revolvers would have turned the tide. You know what I mean? Just see, that's the whole secret of the United States. And when the state of Virginia has rules that you can't have a gun in your car, well, you had this yesterday. The traffic stopped on 495. And you had a guy with a knife stabbing a woman and her dog because she had a dog there to protect her because she couldn't have a gun in her car. You can't have a gun in your car. I mean, this guy wounded like 8 people with a knife. One guy with a gun would have stopped that in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know if that law ever passed. Did that pass? I don't know because I may.
Well,
know
nobody's carrying a gun in their car in Virginia because they don't know if it passed or not. It's kind of like fishing regulations in Florida. I don't really keep my catch in Florida because I don't know the rules on the hour of what is what, you know?
I got to ask my neighbor.
You know what's odd about when you hear the word Virginia, the state of Virginia, a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of liberals there because of, DC. But when you think of Virginia, you think of gun-toting Americans. That's what I think of when I think of Virginia. But then you realize the large amount of blue populations in that state.
Right.
Yeah, because that's one thing about Ohio. We have our problems, but it's constitutional carry and stand your ground law here. So.
Yeah, you got the good old boys out there still. Nova runs this state. I mean, you got to imagine any state that's going to touch the swamp like that is going to just be infested. Yeah. So,
well,
let's see. Do you think Epstein really died? Forensic psychologist working with Congress claims Jeffrey Epstein is alive. Clinical and forensic psychologist Dr. Leslie Dobson insists some of the bombshell findings in the Epstein files are just the tip of the iceberg. This kind of goes to James' point earlier, the redactions, what they're talking about. She says that you can go through the previously redacted and match them up with the newly redacted, and it fills in the slots that were redacted.
Right, and AI helps you. That's what I've been using, AI. I've been doing key search words and using AI to match up the blacked out versions of what words would fit that. Sometimes it gives you, like I say, it's a name. It'll give you like 5 different variations of people's names that could fit in there. That's from that list of the few hundred that they put out of names. And, of course, not all of them are going to be credible, but it gives you an idea of, it narrows down the search of who we're looking for.
Can you imagine if there was a guard in Texas, guard in Grizzly Maxwell, that looks like Epstein? Hi, Maxie.
Hi, Maxie. Hi,
Hey,
Maxie
yo,
Pad. Look,
please.
quote, if you remember the original redactions, you could just copy and paste the PDF into a Word document. Then the black box went off and you could see all the names. Well, now they didn't do that. So now you can take the black box off, but some people actually can't. Okay, so she's saying that the government thought they were so slick that no one can take the black box off, but some people actually can. 20 years experience in her field, one in particular in the video. The night he died, it was cut. There was about 23 seconds missing, she says.
Yeah.
CAG is sleeping in. He's one of the people that believe that Epstein's still alive. CAG is one of those people.
Wow.
So it would have been perfect if he wouldn't have been sleeping in with his newly bought microphone and laptop that he said he was going to use this morning.
So when one of us who are supposed to be here doesn't make it, do we get something from that individual to the rest of us who did get here on time and
That's
are
a great
doing
idea.
the show together? Like maybe send us each a banana cream pie. You know what I mean? Because I'd take one.
Some old stuff. How about an old banana cream pie?
Well, at my age, everything's old, so.
I spent all weekend. I was, I've been, when you ignore a garage for 20 years, there's a lot of stuff that piles up in a garage, right? After 20 years.
Stuff you forgot about.
You should look at my garages.
And so I've been cleaning it out. And so it's been fun because I found my Social Security card, but I'm not going to show you. Okay? I was in a bar in Orlando when Dan Aykroyd was filming that film about the kid that died.
Your mic's fogging out or something.
Yeah. And he was a funeral home director. He was in a movie. And Dan Aykroyd. So he was down there. He was in this bar. We were all in this bar. So I got his signature. So that's his signature that I had in my wallet. That's Dan Aykroyd's signature.
Whose signature is that?
Dan Aykroyd. See the cone head?
Oh, the cone head, yeah.
See the cone head? That's Dan Aykroyd's signature right there.
Dude.
Isn't that cool?
You got that at a bar when you met Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah. The only thing I had in my wallet was this love note from my wife, right? So I had this love note from my wife, right? Which was nice. And so I said, well, here, I know I'm not going to lose this love note, so put it on the back of this. So he did,
Dan
which
Aykroyd
I thought was
signed
kind of
your
weird.
wife's love note, dude.
Yeah.
I'd auction that off.
That's Dan Aykroyd's signature right there with the cone head. Isn't that
Drew a
cool?
cone. That is awesome.
I mean, and he was a really cool dude because he was relaxed. We didn't bother him. It was just, we were just, saying we love your, we've enjoyed your movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. I'd have to eBay the shit out of that.
Dartboard.
Oh, eBay the crap out of that.
What?
Multi.
Yeah.
I have an autograph of Michael Jackson, man, back there when he was black. He was black.
He's still black.
Did he sign it different back then?
No.
Did he sign it different?
He used to come into Orlando and rent out Wet and Wild. And my wife worked at Wet and Wild, and she talked to him all the time. She said his wrists were like that thin. He had the thinnest wrists of anybody she's ever met. The thinnest wrists.
He was Michael.
Like he was just tiny.
Oh, Michael.
He never grew up.
No, he rented out Wet and
You
Wild.
guys were in the business of like sound stages and stuff, right?
What?
Your family was in sound stage?
No, we rented them the buses. We would rent them the buses for their tours.
He probably has a bunch of autographs.
No, you don't bother him. Like I met Ozzy Osbourne on the worst day of his life when his guitarist was killed in that airplane crash. Okay. Yeah, that's not a good day to say, oh, by the way, Ozzy, can I have your autograph? I mean, you're kind of just like
Ozzy, I know.
What can I help?
Give
Anything I can do for you?
But also, I'm probably never going to see you again. So just suck it up and sign this real quick. Here, I got a love note from my wife. It's all I have. You got to sign it next to Dan Aykroyd.
Well, I didn't want to put it on a receipt or something that I was going to throw away. I knew I would never throw that away,
Oh, man.
So anyway, this weekend I'm negotiating on the garage with my wife. And it's like, okay, I get half and you get half. She's like, no, that's not how it works. I get more than your half. I'm like, okay, I'll take a third. Then we could, and we were negotiating with the.
Sound like you were losing.
I lost. You
Oh,
never
he's
win.
lost.
You
You
never
never win.
win. I've been
Yeah,
married
no.
42 years. You never win. What are you kidding? Never.
Yeah. So long story short, the garage is all of his wife's now.
Yeah.
So his stuff's in a little 8x10 shed out back. And he had to build that at his own expense.
Yeah. But I found that, and I found this really cool old Yale lock that had a skeleton key, a padlock from Yale. So I looked it up on how much those are, and they're worth about $100. That's all, about $100. But it was a pancake. It's real flat, looks pancake. It's kind of oval. It's real old. And so that was on something I found. I found all these locks. I buy locks, and now I have like 10 locks with keys. So whatever the hell I was locking up, right?
I do have a couple padlocks with keys, actually, that I found when I cleaned out the other basement at our old house.
I have a shit ton of old car keys.
We all have that.
And I've owned over 100 cars easy, probably 150.
Yeah.
And so you always, like, if you sell the car, you have, maybe your wife's got the extra set on her keychain, and she's not there when you sell the car. I'll get them to you later, but you never do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got a set in my toolbox at the house, at the garage, or whatever. I'll get them to you later. Nah, never happened.
Yeah.
Hey, ending on a note, you guys have 500 plus springs in Florida, right? That's what I read online.
Sure. We are springs.
I hate this name Devil's Den, but have you been to Devil's Den?
Yeah. I mean, I
At one
promised
time in college, yeah.
I promised my dad that I would not cave dive. So I had to be like really kind of careful not getting into that. Okay. Because there's this one spring in Gainesville called the Jug, and you go through a narrow entrance, and then it opens up into this huge cavern, and Indians rode on the side of the rocks and stuff, because they would have to prove their whatever, and then they'd go back up through this tunnel to get out. But people get, you get in confined spaces with a partner diving with you, and if they freak out, they're going to kill you for your air. End of story. Even your own brother will kill you for your
Wonder
air.
how tight it is.
Yeah,
getting in there.
So it's really kind of dangerous. I don't do that much cave.
I know we got to get off here, but I got clearance from my wife because I'm a diver too, Skillet.
Yeah.
And I got clearance from her. I told her I wanted to go for master diver or for dive master.
Well, you go to Bimini. I mean, all of a sudden you go from blue water to green water. You go over the Bahamas. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And if we open up Cuba, hey, you're gonna see me from Cuba, okay, live. Cuba on my aircraft carrier, going back and forth nonstop with supplies, man.
Well, I got clearance from my wife to do dive master. It takes 10 weeks, and she said, "Well, we're gonna go to Brazil this summer. Maybe we can stay for 10 weeks, and you can go to Jamaica or DR and do the course."
Why would you want to go to?
It's 100 dives. You leave with dive master.
You don't want to do that.
Okay, well, guys, I've got affidavits from old girlfriends that I'm a master diver.
Yeah, you don't want to go anywhere near Jamaica or the DR right now. It's like those are all bad areas. You get kidnapped. Yeah.
I'm deleting this so my wife doesn't see it, by the way.
Yeah, sorry. Don't go to the Bahamas.
You guys, both of y'all.
And then I come back to Orlando and I dive for Disney. Like, I'm just in a beautiful aquarium all day.
You're cleaning an aquarium all day.
Yeah, but
that's all you're doing.
That's cool.
Cleaning an aquarium, and they'll make you dive in pipe. They make you dive in pipes and stuff like that, man. They'll put you in a 6-inch pipe. They'll put you
I saw some of the divers online.
Pipe
like,
that you have to clean out.
It is fun in the aquariums, like in Nemo's, but they said that sometimes you'll go in, one way out when you go into some of these spots.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what she said. Hey, some morning we got to get Larry on the show. That's my co-host for Veterans Affairs. He's a Veterans Affairs activist, and me and him do a show every Saturday at 3:00 on my channel.
That sounds awesome. Well,
and
thanks
he's
for
a funny
joining
guy,
us this morning, Larry.
And he's very musical. He plays guitar.
So he actually plays the guitars behind him, not like Carl, who just like hangs them up and acts like he plays them.
Yeah, I've actually seen him play and sing too. So
all right,
was very well.
We're coming down to the end.
Yep.
Have a good
All
morning.
right, guys. We'll see you in the Fredericks chat if I see you there. If not, we'll catch you back here tomorrow. James, enjoy that fireplace. Don't get burnt. See you guys.
See.